I think today low-key describes the Real Madrid season. I want to talk, before we talk about the Madrid game, I want to talk about the individual Mbappe himself because even though they're not going to win La Liga or the Champions League, lads, 45 contributions in 55 games is crazy. My man has 40 goals. So let's talk about that for a second. Well, now he's gone to La Liga, where Messi played, where Cristiano played, where Lamine Yamal plays now. Going up against teams playing a very, very low block system, right? And the guy's put up 40 goals. Now, we could discuss his attitude towards defending, his lack of defending. We could discuss that stuff. But what we can't discuss is him moving into a new position on the field and being able to put up 40 goals. So I guess my question to Madrid fans are, who failed who? Did Mbappe fail Madrid season one, or did players around him fail him? Jude Bellingham had a much slower season than last year. Vinicius Jr. nowhere near the season he had last year. Rodrigo at times brilliant, other times very quiet. When you look at that, when we talk about that, on a team that was very discombobulated throughout the season, in my opinion, because of Ancelotti, I mean, the man still put up 45 contributions and 40 of them being goals. 40 goals, 5 assists in 55 games. It is very, very, very impressive. And he is now, I think, 1 point away from passing Gyökeres for the Golden Boot. I think he's like 1 point away. It's done by points, right? So he potentially could still win the Golden Boot in La Liga, but this is not an individual performance or individual sport. This is a team sport. And as a team, I gotta say that I believe, even though he's one of the greatest managers of all time and could go down in a GOAT conversation up there with Mourinho and Alex Ferguson and Pep Guardiola, Ancelotti, I think, really got this season wrong. Even from just constructing the team, right? What do I mean by that? They went into the season, and they did pretty much the same last year too, but they went into the season with Carvajal, who's aging. We all know he's aging, as their main right back, and their second right back, pretty much Lucas Vazquez. A team like Madrid is using a player that used to be a winger, and they started moving him to right back, Lucas Vazquez, but they're using him as their right back. They easily could have got someone else from somewhere in La Liga just as a backup. So it just feels like, to me, the team wasn't really built properly for the season. But the truth is, and I think this is something that a lot of people might disagree with me, although Madrid was poor this season, Barcelona was brilliant. And I don't think that for a second we should lose sight of that. Because yes, this was a poor season from Real Madrid. And yes, this was not typical Real Madrid that we usually watch. But this is a different Barcelona. This is a very good Barcelona. This is a Barcelona that was one win away from a Champions League final. This is a Barcelona that has put up many goals against Real Madrid this season every time they play him. But to score against the Italian Stallions and teams that play really good defense the way they did, they're just so impressive. And it's also a Barcelona with, in my eyes, if PSG don't win the Champions League, I think Lamine Yamal is going to win the Ballon d'Or. And I know he's a baby, but I don't know if there's anybody in world football right now having a better season. So a more impactful season. We've talked about this. So potentially a Ballon d'Or winner. If you go look at the candidates for the Ballon d'Or right now, I believe it's Lamine Yamal leading the race. And then I want to say it's like either Dembele, or I think it might be Dembele in 2, or maybe it's Salah in 2, and then it's Rafinha in 3, and then it's like Salah or Dembele 4. It's something like this, some order, and then another Barca player. Like, that's the leading for the Ballon d'Or right now. So when you look at Real Madrid, and we talk about how poor of a season they had, let's really talk about at the same time how great of a season Barcelona's having. Because the fact that you have 3 players in the conversation for Ballon d'Or winners is nuts, right? Based off of some people's predictions. That's insane, lads. And the fact that your right winger and your left winger are both in the top 4 of that conversation explains the season that they've had. So yes, this was a disaster of a season for Real Madrid, a disaster of a season for their defense, not including Courtois. Courtois was phenomenal. The back line, I don't think anybody really there was incredible. I think Rudiger did Rudiger type things, but just the lack of support really cooked them. Midfield, very honestly horrible. I'm going to say that word. And the reason I'm going to say horrible is because I'm comparing it to old Real Madrid midfields. Okay, Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, the midfield, the Casemiros, the midfield that we've known coming up, even the midfield that was there last year. Compared to this midfield, horrible. I don't think it was a good midfield display from them. And then up top, I really can't even tell you. I can't look at you and tell you one game where I go, damn, Vinicius Jr. went crazy. I honestly can't remember one. I can look at you and tell you a couple Mbappe did, like scoring a hat-trick against Barcelona. That ain't easy in itself. He scored a hat-trick against them. That's mental. Nobody's talking about that. I can't even tell you a crazy performance from Rodrigo or Jude Bellingham. And I think that's really where the problem is, man. And I think the amount of games on Jude Bellingham, the amount of for me, that's what the biggest one for me. I think the amount of games that Jude Bellingham has on those legs from the season they had from Champions League then into the Euros, and I think it's a lot of fatigue when it comes to Jude Bellingham. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, lads, you know, I look at Real Madrid as a team that had a terrible season, a team that very, very much underperformed. Certain players on that team performed very well. You know what I'm saying? We can't take that away from them. I think that Courtois had a good season, even with the bad defense in front of him. I think Mbappe had, I mean, dude, it's hard to not say a great season for Mbappe. I mean, people might argue it, but can you, man, 40 goals is a lot in a debut season, in a new league, in a new position. That's a lot, bro. But it doesn't really matter when you play at Real Madrid and you're not winning trophies. That's what matters. That's why Ancelotti's on the way out, and we'll see what comes forward. But this game today, I think, has showcased what Madrid fans have gone through watching this team. A team that was completely unorganized, just crossing the ball, like nothing seems fluid, nothing flows well. And throughout the years, I said this, it'll be an individual performance, but once they went down, due to terrible defense, once they went down, I mean, once the team starts parking the bus, and it's really, really hard for Real Madrid to get any space, you know? And I think the lack of creativity through the middle for Real Madrid is a massive problem. So let me know how you guys feel about it, Real Madrid fans. It's a tough one, man, because I think Real Madrid's going to build a very powerful team around them. The problem is there's another team in Spain that is serious now because Lamine Yamal came out of nowhere. Rafinha started playing well. But more importantly, Lamine Yamal came out of nowhere. I don't think anybody predicted this or saw this coming. He is a phenomenal player. And because of that, it changed. When I made that statement 2-3 years ago, it changed a little bit because Barca has an unbelievable football player on their side. So, yeah, I still think Mbappe is going to be very, very effective for Madrid. I think he's going to be very hard to deal with. But I do think Real Madrid need a whole new structure, man. Probably a number 9 that can start and allow Mbappe to run around that number 9 or something. I don't know. But the way this team is set up right now, if they go into next season with this team, even if they buy 1 or 2 defenders, I don't think it's enough. I don't think there's enough creativity coming through the middle. I don't think the back line's good enough. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments down below. Thank y'all for watching. And Barca could have been champions at home on the couch had Real Madrid not scored that late goal today.